Good morning, everybody. Let's do a little review on adding and subtracting decimals and knock this homework assignment out. Okay, should not be too difficult. First off, it's a Pizzazz worksheet, so you want to look at that topic, circle it if you have a printed copy. Okay, read it, review addition and subtraction. You might even add the word decimals here because really this is what it's all about. We're adding and subtracting decimals. Don't forget the easiest 3 points. You probably have the habit of that already. Okay, good old Joe student. You can time me. See how long it takes you to do this. The date today, what is this? October 21st. 10 more days to Halloween. Okay, there we go. You have 3 points. Bam. That wasn't hard. All right, review. When you add or subtract or compare decimals, you want to stack them one on top of another and line up the decimals. When you line up the decimal, it puts the ones place above the ones place, the tens place above the tens. It lines up everything, right? Because the decimal really is supposed to go to the right of the ones place before you get to the tens place. Remember, I have kids write THS, and this helps you in a couple different ways. First off, anything to the right of the decimal, any number, if you read it in words, is going to end in THS. Remember, tenths, hundredths, thousandths, hundred thousandths, millionths. Nothing to the left of the decimal ends in THS. Ends in S, right? Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, but not THS. So that helps me remember. And again, for about 90% of the decimals you deal with in 6th and 7th grade, it's going to be the first 2 spots to the right of the decimal, and the first one starts with a T, tenths, and the second one starts with an H, hundredths. Right? Sorry about that third one. Thousandths does not start with an S, but this helps you on most of them. So that should help. So what we're doing here, it says do each exercise, find your answer in the appropriate box, and notice the letter next to it each time. If you're, again, each is always an important word in math. Underline, circle, put a box around it. The exercise number appears in the code. Write this letter above it. So here we go. First problem, 16 and 75 hundredths plus 9 and 8 hundredths. They have already stacked them and lined up the decimal. Thank you very much for making my life easy, right? All I'm doing is adding. The decimal comes straight down, and I can pretend like it's not there now. 8 and 5 is 13. 1 and 7 is 8. 6 and 5 is 15. And 1 and 1 is 2. 2, 5, 8, 3. 25 and 83 hundredths. Let's see if we can find the answer. One of the things you'll notice, okay, the first 9 answers are going to be in this box. The next 9 answers will be in that box. So don't look over here, right? I'm looking for 25 and 83 hundredths here. And I can't find it, which means I made it. Oh, there it is. So I say it means I made a mistake. All right, it's W. So 1 is going to be W. I look for any ones up here. There's 1. I put a W, but it said each time, so I'm going to look for any more, right? Make sure. Okay, there aren't any more. There's just that 1. That's all I'm doing here. Okay, all of these have been made easy for you because they've already stacked them and lined up the decimals. What might cause a little bit of a monkey wrench for you, a little bit of a problem, is when you see that this top number comes out more spaces than the bottom number. Well, remember, you can add zeros after a decimal and it's not going to change its value. Remember, $5 equals $5.00. I can add those zeros, doesn't change the value. So go ahead and do that on all these before you start. This is 37 minus. Now, if I don't add these zeros, I would be very tempted to just bring the 1, the 4, and the 6 down. Where what do I got to do here? I can't take 1 away from 0. I got to go borrow. I'm going to have to borrow all the way over to that 7 and borrow 1 whole number to get 10 tenths. 10 tenths is 1 whole, right? I'm going to borrow 1 of those tenths and get 10 hundredths. And I'm going to borrow 1 of those hundredths I get 10 thousandths. Now I could subtract. 10 minus 1 is 9. 9 minus 4 is 5. 9 minus 6 is 3. Remember, the decimal came straight down. 6 minus 9, ooh, can't do it, but 36 minus 9 is 27. So 27.359. I'm looking for that answer over here. That's V. So 8 is V. There's 1 there. Any more 8s? Just the 1. Okay, going on. All right, I think you can do all of these. I would go ahead and do this by adding the zeros where it helps make it less confusing. And then go ahead and just bring that decimal down on each of these before you even start. That's all you have to do, because then you're just going to add or subtract and pretend there's no decimal. All right, now how about these? Well, they didn't write these vertically like we like them. They didn't stack them, okay? And then sometimes they have whole numbers. Well, where's the decimal in that 13? Can you see it? Maybe if I zoom in. Can you see it? I still can't see it. Can you? Oh, yeah, that's right. You can't see it because it's not there. If it's not there, it belongs to the right of the ones place. Okay, so I'm going to put the decimal there. Okay, now I have to go stack these problems. And the first thing I write in the second number is the decimal, because I want to make sure it goes right underneath. All right, third number, decimal. I want to make sure it goes right underneath. I'm adding all these. Now what do I do to make it less confusing? Add those zeros, right? And I'm just adding, right? Okay, now, same idea on these. Make sure you put a decimal to the right if you don't see one. Go ahead and try this on your own, and come back later if you want to check to see if you got them all right. Okay? I think this is probably enough for you guys to do this. Now, I'm not going to have room for all these. So what do? Get another piece of paper. Write some of these problems on another piece of paper. What does that mean? You're taking 2 pictures instead of 1. Submit those pictures. Don't click turn in without doing that, right? That's a 5th grade thing. You guys are 6th graders now. 2nd quarter 6th grade, right? So show your work. Do all the problems. Don't just fill in a bunch of letters here without showing me all that math, right? We want to see how you got those answers, okay? And don't forget about that word each. All right, that's probably plenty for you to get going. Why don't you do the rest on your own? And good luck. We will see you tomorrow.